Christ is my firm foundation. He's the rock on which I stand when everything around me is shaking. Oh, I've never been more glad that I put my faith in Jesus, 'cause he's never let me down. He's faithful through generations. So why would he fail now? He won't. And I still got joy in chaos. I've got peace that makes no sense. So I won't be going under. I'm not held by my own strength, 'cause I build my life on Jesus. 'Cause he's never let me down. He's faithful in every season. So why would he fail now? He won't. He won't. He won't fail. He won't fail.
Christ is my firm foundation, the rock on which I stand when everything around me is shaking. I've never been more glad that I put my faith in Jesus, 'cause he's never let me down. He's faithful through generations. So why would he fail now? He won't. He won't. He won't fail. He won't fail.
And rain came and wind blew, but my house was built on you. And I'm safe with you, and I'm gonna make it through. Oh, rain came and wind blew, but my house was built on you. And I'm safe with you. I'm gonna make it
And all my days I've been held in your hand. From the moment that I wake up until I lay my head, oh, I will sing of the goodness of God. All my life you have been faithful. All my life you have been so, so good. With every breath that I am able, oh, I will sing of the goodness of God. I love your voice. You have led me to the fire and darkest night. You are close like no other. I've known you as a father. I've known you as a friend. Oh, I have lived in the goodness of God. All my life you have been faithful. All my life you have been so, so good. With every breath that I am able, oh, I will sing of the goodness of God. Your goodness is running after, it's running after me. Your goodness is running after, it's running after me. With my life laid down, I surrender now. I give you everything. Your goodness is running after, it's running after me. All my life you have been faithful. All my life you have been so, so good. With every breath that I am able, oh, I will sing of the goodness of God. All my life you have been faithful. All my life you have been so, so good. With every breath that I am able, oh, I will sing of the goodness of God. Yes, I will sing of the goodness of God.
Hey, welcome to One Church. We're so glad that you're joining us today. If this is your first time, a very special welcome to you. Would you take a second and head to our website, church.one? From there, you can fill the Connect card out. This helps us know a little bit more about you and how we can be praying for you. We want to reach the most people in the shortest time, and our YouTube channel helps us to do that. If you haven't done so already, make sure that you subscribe and turn that notifications bell on to stay caught up with everything we have going on here at One Church. Here at One Church, we continue to pray for one person to share God's love with every day. You can head to shilohbattles.com to stream new music. You can head to kidsmusic.one to stream our new kids album, No Kidding. And you can share it with somebody that God puts on your heart. You can also head to postednotes.one and subscribe for a weekly encouraging newsletter. We want to have more worship services in more places because we know that God is revealed through the worship of His people. Your generosity helps us to do that. If Jesus is Lord of your life, He's Lord of everything, including your finances. Would you pray this simple prayer with me now? God, show me what to give and give me the courage to give it. And after you've prayed that prayer, you can head to church.one/give and set up recurring giving today. Thank you so much for your generosity. We're going to check out our High Five, where we celebrate 5 things that God is doing through the life of One Church. Check it out now.
Welcome back to our High Five, where we're celebrating 5 awesome things that God is doing through the life of One Church. So let's jump into it. Up at number 5, we're celebrating Scarlett, who this past Sunday at the Ware Outpost decided she was ready to respond to what God was calling her to do and was baptized. High five, Scarlett. We're so excited for how God will continue to work in and through you. Up at number 4, signups for the 2026 fall session of Rooted are open now. Rooted is a 10-week journey for people at every stage of life and faith, wanting to grow in their relationship with God, people, and His mission. So is this your Rooted season? Visit church.one/rooted for more information and to sign up today. Here at number 3, in the month of July, 18 brand new givers and 11 new recurring givers visited church.one/give. They're trusting God with financial generosity, and that deserves a big high five today. To give, go to church.one/give, and here's to reaching the most people in the shortest time. In at number 2, many have already signed up for Worthy, a conference for women ages 18 and up designed to encourage women that they're uniquely beautiful and that God loves them. Worthy is happening Saturday, September 12th at the Manchester Outpost. So visit church.one/events for more information and to sign up today. And finally, up at number 1, we're celebrating the 3 baptisms the Bedford Outpost experienced this past weekend. High five to Lennox, Elliot, and Heather. They claim the truth of their identities in Christ, and we're all celebrating that with them today. High five, you guys. Thanks for joining us for our High Five, and I can't wait to celebrate with you in the next one.
We're in our message series called Kings Till We Die, and our memory verse is found in Psalm 47, verse 7. And it says, "For God is the King of all the earth. Sing to Him a psalm of praise." Right now, wherever you are, I want to invite you to open your hearts to all that God has for you today.
Well, every life comes down to a tale of 2 kingdoms. There's 2 kingdoms that we're always kind of aware of. There's my kingdom, and then there's God's kingdom. And if we don't pay attention to whose kingdom we're really living for, we're always going to drift into building our own personal kingdoms. And that's where life becomes all about me, my desires, my wants. I believe that I know what's best, not only for me, but then ultimately for other people, because other people are really just servants in my own personal kingdom. And what's interesting about that is if we all think we're our own kings, then that's why we're always at war with all the other people who think they're kings. Because if their interests infringe upon my interests, well, now we have conflict. And in that conflict, I have to decide, well, who's right? Well, if it really is about me and my kingdom, and I want to be king of my castle, king of the hill, king of my life, the king of whatever I want to be king of, then I fight to protect my kingdom. And it's exhausting. And here's the thing. That's our human default. We always drift and default into personal kingdom building, but God's got something so much better for you. He is the King of Kings and the Lord of Lords. Ultimately, there's only one kingdom and only one king, because all of us are going to experience death. And so, yeah, we can be kings. You can be king of your life, king of your castle, king of your domain. I can do this too, but we are only kings till we die. And all of us will die. Every single one of us will pass away. And when we go, what happens to our kingdoms then? They all crumble. Every one of them comes tumbling down. And yet God's kingdom is eternal. It lasts forever. And the good news of what Jesus has done for us is He has made a way for us to be participants in God's kingdom, for us to become children of the King, adopted sons and daughters, co-heirs with Christ, to have a new identity based on who God is and who He declares that we are in relationship to Him. And instead of fighting against each other and fighting against God, we can surrender to God and we can be a part of His mission to save the world, to be a part of His kingdom. We began a new message series right now called Kings Till We Die, where we're exploring the first Old Testament kings and some of the mistakes that those kings made, which are common mistakes that all of us make when we try to be kings of our own domain. And in this series, digging into these Old Testament kings, we're going to discover some of the nature of who God is in a better way and what he really has for us. And instead of longing for an earthly king or even longing to be an earthly king, we can replace that with a longing and a desire to serve the King of Kings. Our memory verse is found in Psalm chapter 47, verse 7. I'd love for you to read this out loud with me. For God is the King of all the earth. Sing to him a psalm of praise. For God is the King of all the earth. Let's sing to him a psalm or a song of praise, to exalt God, to worship. And this is one of the primary ways to remember that he is the King. To worship means to exalt. To recognize who God is and that he is greater than me. That's why I love this particular motion as a motion of worship, just to raise hands. Will you raise hands with me like this? It almost makes a greater than sign and say, God, you are greater than. God, you are greater than. You are greater than me. And it opens us up to receive his kingdom, to participate in his kingdom. Our arms that are raised like that are also a sign of surrender, to say, you know what, I'm not gonna fight against you and your kingdom, God, because you are greater than me. And you have all this under control. And that's what's so fantastic. So all these things that we get so bent out of shape about in this world, and they're real things. I'm not downplaying them. I understand they're real. The concerns that you're struggling with, they're real. The economic concerns, the relational issues, the health crisis, all the stuff that you're facing in this world. It's real. I'm not telling you it's not real. I'm just saying to you that there is a king that is greater than them. You, in and of yourself, are not greater than any of these things. One or a combination of all of those things is going to bring you down. That is how this is going to end. It will bring you down, but there is a king who transcends all of that. He is the king of all the earth. And you have the opportunity right now and every single day to exalt him and say, oh, you're the king. And it's such a beautiful, wonderful thing to say, oh, you know what, God? You really are in control. Next time you're stressed out, freaked out, worn out, next time you're about ready to throw in the towel, next time you think that the world's just going to hell in a handbasket, just say, oh, God, you really are in control. Remember that he's the king. The Israelite people, as they had inhabited the land that God had prepared for them, they had a system of judges that God had given them that were helping them kind of navigate life and their relationships with each other in the world they were living in. But they wanted a king. They wanted to be like the other nations. And so they were like crying out to God, like, God, we want a king. And they had a prophet named Samuel. And they're like, Samuel, tell God we want a king. And Samuel warns them, and God warns them. He's like, you don't want a king. If you have a king, let me tell you what a king will do. If you have a king's going to exploit you. A king's going to take your children, your sons, and send them off to war and make them work for the king and make them serve the king. You're going to take your daughters, make them serve the king. Going to take, your livestock, the best of your livestock. Going to tax you. Going to do all these things. You don't want a king. A king is going to oppress you because that's what kings do. And yet, God's like, I'll be your king. And the people, though, said, no, we don't think you're good enough. We want another king. And that's really the nature of what happens here. Every time we sin is anything we do that we know God doesn't want us to do, or anything we neglect to do that we know God does want us to do. Every time we choose to sin, essentially what we're saying to God is, God, you're not a good enough king. I want to be my own king. I know better than you do, God. And so I want to go my own way and do my own thing. And the first king that was anointed by God to rule over Israel was a man named Saul. And Saul starts off with really good intentions, which is kind of interesting. I think most of us do. I don't think anybody's out there really just in their heart of hearts saying, you know what, I would like to have a just horrifically tragic life that just damages everyone else, that causes national heartache and pain. and also destroys my own family and everybody close to me. And yet it's a story that happens over and over and over again. Power corrupts. We start off one way and we end up another. And the story of Saul is a story that very much goes in that direction. And it starts with a choice not to obey God fully. Now, as we think about worshiping God and exalting him, obey him fully. Hear what he has for you. Instead of picking and choosing or saying, okay, God, I'm gonna obey you in the things that I naturally agree with you on and make sense to me. Instead, say, no, God, even on the things that don't quite add up for me, even on the things I can't quite figure out, I'm gonna still say, God, you're greater than me, and you have a perspective that is better than mine, and you may be up to something that I can't quite see yet or understand, but you just might be in control. So I'm gonna agree with you, God, and obey God fully. We pick up our story about King Saul in 1 Samuel chapter 15. It says, Samuel said to Saul, I am the one the Lord sent to anoint you king over his people Israel. So listen now to the message from the Lord. This is what the Lord Almighty says. I will punish the Amalekites for what they did to Israel when they waylaid them as they came up from Egypt. Now go, attack the Amalekites and totally destroy all that belongs to them. Do not spare them. Put to death men, women, children, and infants, cattle and sheep, camels and donkeys. So Saul summoned the men and mustered them at Telem, 200,000 foot soldiers and 10,000 from Judah. Saul went to the city of Amalek and set an ambush in the ravine. Then he said to the Kenites, go away, leave the Amalekites so that I do not destroy you along with them. For you showed kindness to all the Israelites when they came up out of Egypt. So the Kenites moved away from the Amalekites. Then Saul attacked the Amalekites all the way from Havilah to Shur, near the eastern border of Egypt. He took Agag, king of the Amalekites, alive, and all his people he totally destroyed with the sword. But Saul and the army spared Agag and the best of the sheep and cattle, the fat calves and the lambs, everything that was good. They were unwilling to destroy completely. To destroy completely, but everything that was despised and weak, they totally destroyed. Then the word of the Lord came to Samuel. I regret that I have made Saul king, because he has turned away from me and has not carried out my instructions. Samuel was angry and cried out to the Lord all that night. The Israelites had a king in Saul, and God gives him a command to go and destroy this particular group of people, this nation. And the reason for this is when the Israelites had left Egypt and were in the wilderness, and they were coming into where God was leading them, the Amalekites had attacked them from behind, had waylaid them from behind, and had destroyed and killed the weakest of the Israelite people because the strongest were at the front. And so God is taking care of some justice. He's setting some things right in the world. He's letting people know who's in charge. He's reminding people that there are consequences to their actions. And he's using his servant, King Saul. And Saul goes and he obeys, but he doesn't fully obey. God said, destroy it all. But it didn't make sense to him. As a king and a new king, he's like, I'm a new king, and so I want to have, all the things that kings have, and I want to be a strong king, and I want the people to know that I'm strong. So he kept back the best of the things, the best of the livestock. He kept the king alive. He held that back. And if you think about it in human terms, it makes total sense why a king would make this choice. But he did not obey God fully. And because he didn't obey God fully, God decided that he did not want Saul to be king any longer. When we don't serve God and we don't trust him and we don't follow him, then we lose something so precious and powerful when we choose to rely on our own wisdom. We use the blessing and anointing that God has for us as his followers in this world. If God truly is our king, then we demonstrate it by lives that obey him fully, even when we don't fully understand. Another lesson we learn from Saul is that as we are worshiping him and exalting God, we are to seek God's glory. But that's just not the way of earthly kings. They don't seek God's glory. Earthly kings almost always end up seeking their own glory. So whether you think about kings of nations or just kings of their castle or kings of their domain, every time we try to be our own kingdom, instead of seeking God's glory, we seek personal recognition, and this would certainly be the case for Saul. We continue in the same story. It says, early in the morning, Samuel got up and went to meet Saul, but he was told, Saul has gone to Carmel. There he has set up a monument in his own honor and has gone down to Gilgal. When Samuel reached him, Saul said, the Lord bless you. I've carried out the Lord's instructions. No, you didn't. But Samuel said, what then is this bleating of sheep in my ears? What is this lowing of cattle that I hear? And Saul answered, the soldiers brought them from the Amalekites. They spared the best of the sheep and the cattle to sacrifice to the Lord your God. But we totally destroyed the rest. Enough, Samuel said to Saul. Let me tell you what the Lord said to me last night. Tell me, Saul replied. Samuel said, although you were once small in your own eyes, did you not become the head of the tribes of Israel? The Lord anointed you king over Israel, and he sent you on a mission saying, go and completely destroy those wicked people, the Amalekites. Wage war against them until you've wiped them out. Why did you not obey the Lord? Why did you pounce on the plunder and do evils in the eyes of the Lord? But I did obey the Lord, Saul said. I went on the mission the Lord assigned me. I completely destroyed the Amalekites and brought back Agag, their king. The soldiers took sheep and cattle from the plunder, the best of what was devoted to God, in order to sacrifice them to the Lord your God at Gilgal. But Samuel replied, does the Lord delight in burnt offerings and sacrifices as much as obeying the Lord? To obey is better than sacrifice, and to heed is better than the fat of rams. For rebellion is like the sin of divination, and arrogance like the evil of idolatry. Because you have rejected the word of the Lord, he has rejected you as king. Kings seek their own glory. It's kind of interesting in this story, the reality of how kings like credit. They like recognition. Part of that, again, makes perfect sense. If you want to be king and remain king, then you got to prove yourself. And you have to prove yourself over and over and over again. So how is this king, going to prove himself to his people? One of the things he does is he makes a monument. Kings love to make monuments to themselves. They love to put their names on things. They love to build things in their own honor. Saul had gone to Carmel there to build a monument to himself. Well, this escalated really quickly. He's there to represent his people and serve his God. And the next thing you know, he's building a monument to himself. Kings seek recognition. He's even lying about it. He's like, I carried out the Lord's instruction. And it's pretty wild. The prophet says, what is this bleating of sheep that I hear? What is this mooing of cows? I mean, Saul's right there telling him, I did everything. And he hears, bah. And the prophet's like, do you hear that? Well, I mean, we kept some because we were going to sacrifice them to God. All right. But they seek recognition. I've done what the Lord said, even when we haven't. They find scapegoats. And instead of just, owning it and being like, yeah, that's what I did. I'm in charge. This is what I did. He then says, well, it was the army. The men wanted them. The men kept them, and they brought them back. And so I was like, well, we already have them. We might as well keep them. They promote half-truths. They spared the best of the sheep to sacrifice to the Lord. And he's like, but we totally destroyed the rest. And no, you didn't. We played these little games like, God, I'm obeying you. God, I'm obeying you. We even lie to ourselves and we start to believe our own lies. God, I'm obeying you when we're really not. We obey him in the things that might be convenient or make sense to us or work out in, supporting in our own personal kingdoms and the things that we want and the things that we think we're supposed to have and the control and the power that we long for, the things that give us glory. We're like, all right, God, I'll obey you in those things. But as soon as it doesn't line up with that and it's something else, it's like, okay, can't do it, God. Can't do it. I'm out on that. And it belittles enemies. Something that you see, like when you're seeking your own recognition, like now all of a sudden you have to have these enemies and you belittle them. So instead of taking out the king, he kidnaps the king to make him a public display. Agag, this other king, he's going to make a public display and belittle him in front of his own people, to make a point and to make a statement about how great that he is. That's the sort of thing that kings do. They belittle everyone else. Talk about how stupid they are, what idiots they are, how they don't know what they're doing. They attack and go after them. But that's not what God has for you. He's got something so much better. Instead, we can exalt him. And when we do worship God in this way, then we'll fear God above all else. There will be a fear of God. And this is a powerful thing, the fear of the Lord. It's the beginning of wisdom. The fear is this reverent, awestruck wonder of the power of God to come in contact with the all-knowing, all-powerful, almighty creator of the heavens and earth and our Lord and our Savior, and to be like, oh, God, you are awesome. And to have a fear of him and the greatness and majesty and magnitude of who he is, but not a fear that repulses, but rather a fear that draws us in. And when you know God in this way, he will be the only fear you know, and you will not be afraid, which is so powerful. He'll be the only fear you know, but you don't have to be afraid. See, we don't have to be afraid around every corner. We don't have to be afraid of what other people will do. We don't have to be afraid about our reputations. We don't have to be afraid about our kingdoms anymore. We have a fear of God that draws us into him and reminds us that he has authority and power and control. So we don't have to be afraid. To know the fear of the Lord is wisdom. To know who he is, what he's done, what he's promised to do, and what he declares about you. That you're not king of your own castle. You're not king of your own domain. You don't need to build some kind of earthly kingdom that's going to crumble at some point real soon. Instead, you can lead a life with him, fearing him above all and no longer being afraid. We'll wrap up this story in verse 24. It says, then Saul said to Samuel, I've sinned. I violated the Lord's command and your instructions. I was afraid of the men, so I gave in to them. Now I beg you, forgive my sin and come back with me so that I may worship the Lord. But Samuel said to him, I will not go back with you. You've rejected the word of the Lord, and the Lord has rejected you as king over Israel. Here's what I can tell you. If you're trying to be your own king, if I'm trying to be my own king, the Lord rejects me as my own king. And I'm so glad. He just doesn't support it. There is a king. He's a risen king, King Jesus, who so loves you no matter who you are, no matter what you've done, no matter what's been done to you. He loves you so much that he came here and he went to a cross for you. And he took all of our imperfection and sin inside of him, and he took care of it. All the things we've done, all the things we've neglected to do, all the things that have been done to us that we don't know how to handle, Jesus took care of it. He put it to death in his body on the cross. It was buried with him in the tomb, and on the third day he rose again. You see, death doesn't end his kingdom, but death will always end mine. And because of Jesus and being invited into his kingdom, now we have the opportunity to be with him, both now and forever. Death isn't the end. King Saul, his life ends. He takes his own life. When he comes to the end, he winds up falling on his own sword and killing himself. That's really the nature of all kings. we always bring about our own downfall, because that's not what we're created for. We're created to exalt the true King and respond to him. And you have the opportunity to do that right now. God may reject you as king of your own life, but he doesn't reject you in his kingdom. He invites you, and he has a place for you. And we have the opportunity to agree with him and to say yes to Jesus as our Savior and our King. We remember that Jesus' body was broken and put to death for us, that he experienced the death that we all have. He's taken it for us. And if Jesus is your Savior, would you say, yes, Jesus? Yes, Jesus. And we remember that Jesus' blood was shed and poured out to offer us a new promise, a new relationship, where we're no longer kings and we don't carry the weight of the world on our shoulder anymore, but there is a king who is in control that even death can't contain. He's King Jesus. And if you're exalting him as king, would you say, to the King? If you would you open up your hands as a way of receiving a blessing from the King? And let's take a deep breath together, in the nose, out the mouth. Now take those open hands and raise them and say, you are the King. And I am your servant. Receive his blessing right now.
I'm done trusting in what's sinking. These boats weren't built for me. I'm done drifting on the water of insecurity. In the noise and the distractions, in the storms of arguing, I hear your voice calling. And I'm gonna fix my eyes on Jesus, walking with the one who walks on the sea. And I'm gonna give my life to follow. So speak to me and I'll go wherever you lead, wherever you lead. I'm done worshiping an image of what only looks like me, surrounding you with limits of what my eyes can see. Oh God, would you forgive me and restore the mystery? Oh, I hear your voice calling, calling, and I'm gonna fix my eyes on Jesus, walking with the one who walks on the sea. And I'm gonna give my life to follow. Speak to me and I'll go wherever on the sea. And I'm gonna give my life to follow. Speak to me and I will go wherever you lead, wherever you lead, wherever you lead, wherever.